Good afternoon. Welcome to Midcap Radar live from the CNBC-TV18 Motilal Oswal studio. I'm Sonal Bhutra. With me as always is Vivek Iyer, and we stay at the opening levels. It's been quite range-bound today. So at 24,800, that continues to remain the crucial level. Midcaps underperforming, and only the consumption theme seems to be working right now. FMCG supporting the index.
Absolutely right. Good afternoon, Sonal. So, we woke up to the news of the tariffs, and that's something that's kept the market under pressure throughout. Autos and consumption, that's the only set that's managing to do quite well. Rest, in fact, even the pharma pack amongst the top laggards today. But we have a lot lined up on the show, an important management conversation as well. So let's start off with the top headlines. Stocks lose ground as US presses ahead by notifying additional tariffs on India. Realty and metals are the big losers, while FMCG ekes out some gains. Midcaps underperform.
Textile stocks like Wellspun Living, Arvind Vardhman Textiles, Pearl Global all trade lower ahead of the August 27 tariff deadline, as Indian exports now to US will attract an additional 25% tariff, taking the levy to 50%. These companies have majority exposure to the US markets.
Vikram Solar made a subdued debut on D Street, listing with minor gains to its issue price, but it's currently trading near the day's high, up over 11%.
Vodafone Idea slumps as the government refutes news reports that the telco could receive some relief on AGR dues. The stock is lower by 8%.
Protean eGov Securities secures a 1,160 crore order from UIDAI. Stock surges over 8%, while Ola Electric surges after the company secures PLI certification for its Gen 3 scooter portfolio.
Okay, so 160-point cut on the Nifty. That's been status quo since the time we started trading. Continues to be in the red at those levels. Mid-caps are the ones which are underperforming, down 1.1%. We have the Bank Nifty as well, not doing so well, so 1% gone there as well. In terms of individuals, in the indices, as I said earlier, it's Nifty FMCG, which is batting it for the bulls. That one is up around 1%. Nifty Auto did see some recovery. In fact, now it's at the day's high, so the recovery that we would see will come in from the FMCG space. Nifty Auto, after being in the red for a while, did see that recovery come by around 12 p.m. and that continues to be the case as well. In terms of losers, Realty continues to lose. We have Pharma Index, which is not doing so well. PSU Banking Index, you name it. And most of these sectoral indices are in the red currently. But when we talk about individual names, so let's get to our special segment, Midcap Movers. Vivek has gone across to the big wall. He's going to take us to the mid-caps that are moving around in trade. Vivek.
Well, like you mentioned, the mid-caps, especially the broad end of the markets, they're sulking today. The advance decline ratio is very weak. And this is mainly on the back of the fact that throughout the trading session, we've seen significant selling pressure. Now, in terms of individual gainers, first up, we'll start off with the name that made its debut on D Street today, Vikram Solar, a good 10% pop. So listing gains of 10%. It'll be interesting to see whether this entire pack, remember, quite a few companies will come up with ITOs in this particular space itself. The auto pack, the large cap auto names are doing quite well. And even within the mid cap and the larger universe, you are seeing auto stocks, auto ancillaries doing quite well. Ola Electric up 5% and Ather Energy too up over 5% today. We spoke about Protean eGov, during the headlines. We spoke about how the company had received an order. We'll do a deep dive into it later on in the show. But that stock higher by over 8% on very good volumes. And KSP Limited, this particular name on strong volumes continues its move higher. Order book remains quite steady over there. On the other hand, quite a few laggards as well. Clear indication that no relief is underway as far as the telecom space is concerned. That has made Idea sulk almost 8.5% lower today. PG Electroplast, this particular name, has been under significant pressure ever since its results. Been quite volatile, but today down 4%. JK Paper, remember, the entire paper pack yesterday was doing very well, but seeing a bit of profit booking today. So JK Paper down 4%. Angel One, not only Angel One, a whole host of capital, the capital theme stocks seeing quite a bit of selling pressure. Angel One over 4% lower, and KFin Technologies today under significant pressure, over 4% lower as well for this particular name too.
All right, so those are some stocks which are on our radar. In fact, we'll take forward JK Paper and Protean Gov from that and discuss that in greater detail. But before that, let's welcome Shrikant Chauhan for a technical check on the markets. Shrikant, good afternoon. Well, we've continued to be at that 24,800 mark. Will we see levels below that by the time we end this session? What are the charts suggesting now?
Good afternoon, everyone. As far as Nifty is concerned, it has broken its important level at 24,850 and 24,800 also. Yes, we are seeing some recovery, but the most important part is that we need today's close somewhere close to its opening levels. I'm going to say somewhere around 24,900. If we see the market is recovering today, even though there is like tomorrow holiday and we are very close to the expiry pressure, if we see the market is gaining in today's date, then only we can say that today's breakdown was false breakdown and market is again on the path of recovering from lower levels. So that will get confirmed. But for the time being, we are still on the downside. We can see maybe 24,500 in the near term. That's my view, as the market has broken its important level. So we need just recovery towards the end.
Okay, Shrikant, so recovery towards the end is what you're hoping for in today's trading session. In terms of individual stocks, do you like anything today?
Yeah, Vivek. Yes, there are like number of stocks which are like today showing some strength, recovering from their lows. And yes, value buying is happening in the market. Today we saw good amount of buying interest in SH Kelkar, which is currently trading around 240, 41. It was around 230 levels. From there, all the way it recovered. And while looking at its entire technical pattern, I think the stock is heading for the levels of at least 300 in next maybe few weeks or months. So it will take some time, but it's a buy at current levels. There is a decent upside from current levels that we can see based on its technical pattern. And if somebody is interested in buying the stock with a short-term view, then they can keep a stop loss around 220 for the same. But we like SH Kelkar around at current levels. We also like Eternal, which is around 319, 320. The stock is forming higher top, higher bottom series since last so many weeks. And when looking at its entire pattern, and even though there was like weakness in the market, we are seeing good amount of resilient activity in Eternal. So at these levels around 320, it's a buy with a target of 345. And in the long run, we may even see the levels of 400. So at this level, it's a very strong candidate to buy for. And if there is any correction, then one should look for adding more. We can keep stop loss around 305.
All right, take that point. Thank you, Shrikant. The stock is at the day's high, but that disclaimer will come up for you on the screen as well. We'll slip into a short break. When we come back, we'll get you more on the markets and stock-specific action on the other side. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Midcap Radar. Well, today is also an important day, especially from a passive index point of view. Remember, today is the day in which the MSCI's August review changes come into effect. So in the last hour of the trading session, a couple of names, remember, will get added to the MSCI. There will be a few weight changes as well. And there are 2 deletions as well. Overall, this particular event is a net equity outflow event as far as Indian equities are concerned. So which are the 4 names that have made their entry into the MSCI this particular review? Hitachi Energy, close to $220 million of inflows. Swiggy, close to $280 million of inflows today. Wari Energy, $220 million of inflows. Vishal Megamart, close to $250 million of inflows. So these are the stocks that will see inflows in the last hour of the trading session today. And on the other hand, 2 stocks have exited the MSCI index. So Thermax, close to $110 million of outflows, and Sona BLW Precision, remember that particular stock, close to $160 million of outflow. All of these estimates or flows are estimates of brokers. But moving on, remember this is our special segment, Midcap Spotlight. Winnie is standing by, and today she's focusing on the UIDAI orders for Protean eGov and BLS International Services. Winnie, over to you.
Hi, absolutely. So we're keeping an eye out on these orders that have come in this morning, what we saw. One was for Protean eGov. Now, this is an order of around 1,100 crores for Protean eGov. This is for Aadhaar Seva Kendras from the UIDAI that they have received. The similar order, it's a tenure of 6 years, right? Now, similar orders received also by BLS International, same one. But this value is of around 2,000 crores. Now, you know, what is it in terms of positive? Obviously, for Protean eGov, do not forget that PAN 2.0, they didn't get that order. That time we've seen a sharp fall coming in the stock price, right? Now here, this actually compensates. That order was around 1,400 crores. That outlay was expected to be of around that value. Now, this is of around 1,100 crores approximately, 6-year time period. But the concern that comes in now, what is the main impact that we could see coming in? While it's a compensating order, But the impact is that there is already a lot of competition here, right? You can go to any Aadhaar Seva Kendra, right? You can go to banks, post office, get your Aadhaar done. So yes, there are certain districts where they have received these orders for, but there is already too much competition. So that is a concern, and volumes now will play a bigger part. So how many people actually go to, Protean eGov on the site over there or through them and get the order Aadhaar done is important for them. So that is key to watch out for. Nonetheless, today, both these stocks are buzzing in trade on the back of this order win.
All right. Thanks for explaining that. Both these companies got a similar order, but how the volumes will pan out going forward will be important to track. Let's quickly take a look at the markets again. There is some recovery that we are seeing, but again, it's not massive to talk about in greater detail as well. From the broader markets, if we talk about some stocks which are on our radar, Edelweiss Financials, that stock is up 5%. We have CESC, which is up 1.8% as we speak. There's Ola Electric as well, which has got that PLI boost, so that stock is up around 5%. Linde India is up 3.3%. Granules too is doing well, so 2.5% higher there as well. Some of these broader market movers that we wanted to talk about. But for now, we'll slip into a break. When we come back, management of JK Paper will join us next. Welcome back. Paper stocks were on a roll yesterday. The government tightened import conditions for certain paper and paperboard products. Now, we want to understand the three top talking points that we'll discuss with the management of JK Paper. What percentage of revenue comes from virgin paperboard, the pricing power tailwind for sector, and industry price hikes as well. So to discuss this, let's get in Mr. A.S. Mehta, the President and Director at JK Paper, to understand what this move means for the industry and specifically for JK Paper as well. Mr. Mehta, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining in. Can you explain to us what was the imported price earlier and what has led to this change that came by? What would the impact of this change be for JK Paper and industry be?
Thank you. Very good afternoon to you as well as the audience. In fact, this was troubling the paper market from last almost 12 months, particularly the category what we are talking in the context of the MIP. This is the virgin packaging board on which the MIP has been imposed. In fact, in Indonesia, there was a huge capacity created, and the capacity was the new capacity was equivalent to the demand in the country. I mean, in the whole of the India's demand is equivalent to the new capacity created in Indonesia. So, in fact, they started dumping. And I would say that the import was taking place at something around $600 a ton, which is very, very cheap rate as far as any global trade is concerned, because the pulp prices are at around $500 and $550, and when the processed the board, if that comes at $600, I mean, there is no way that this can be a price. So that was troubling the Indian manufacturing sector, and this is where we represented, we requested the government, we filed the petition. Of course, it took almost 6-8 months for government to investigate and the process and do all kind of a consultation and the analysis, and finally now the MIP has been imposed. This will help the paper industry. I would say that the paper, particularly the packaging board, when we talk, in fact, the prices have crashed something around 15 to 20% from a decent level of pricing a year back or 1.5 years back. And it was the paper industry was not making any margin on this particular category. Okay. So now there must be some correction in the pricing after the MIP.
Okay. Mr. Mehta, thank you so much. You've explained clearly, what was happening as far as the industry was concerned and how exactly this will help you going forward. Now, coming to JK Paper specifically, what is the percentage of total revenue this particular segment contributes? What is the current pricing at which you are selling the paper in the domestic market? And what is the kind of upward correction, like you mentioned, you can take? And Could you confirm for our viewers, this particular MIP imposition has been done for a period of 1 year?
Let me tell you that the imposition of the MIP right now, as per the notification is concerned, it is up to 31st March 2026. It is not for 1 year. It is up to March 26. And of course, we have a window to approach the government again for a further period of 6 months or so. So that's a later part. So this MIP is for the period up to March 26. This is one. As far as our sales mix is concerned, right now the Virgin Packaging Board is close to 35 to 40% of our total the paper revenue.
Okay. So I also wanted to understand, Mr. Mehta, how will it impact margins overall? We were having a conversation in the morning with CareEdge. They said 55% of the total industry volumes come in from VPB. It would improve margins. For JK Paper particularly, what kind of margin improvement would you see?
No, 55%, did you say about the sales mix of Virgin Board?
For the entire industry, that was the number that was told to us.
No. See, the Virgin Packaging Board total, when I talk about the volume of for the industry, it is something around 20 lakh ton.
Correct.
20 lakh ton is the total Virgin Board, is the demand in the country, and the size of the total paper market in the country, it is something around 250 lakh ton. So it is not even 10% of the total volume of the paper sector. But when we talk about the total packaging board, which is recycled and virgin both, then it is something around 30-35% is the virgin board, and something around 60-65% is the recycled board.
Okay. Mr. Mehta, two questions. One comment on pricing, I missed asking you that particular part. And secondly, in terms of market share, you explained clearly to us about how paper was being dumped, especially from Indonesian players. Now, what is the current market share rate currently in this particular segment, and what do you expect for it to increase up to?
See, you are asking about the JK paper market share. So we are close to 18 to 20% market share we have. Okay. And it will remain more or less the same because we are not adding any capacity right away. And whatever the market will grow, so we will have the same kind of a volume from our operational efficiency and debottlenecking. So our market share will remain at the same band of 18 to 20%. As far as the prices are concerned, after the MIP, certainly the whole purpose of this is that there must be a reasonable pricing where the industry can have some kind of a margin. So, I mean, in over a period of time, we will have to see how the market behave, what is the market affordability, and I mean, that will define, but certainly there will be some price correction in time to come. It may happen in 15 days or 30 days, but there will be some price correction.
Understood. So we are all hopeful of a price hike that will be done by paper companies going forward. Sir, a couple of key points that industry continuously talks about, especially in terms of demand triggers. The first one, of course, is the kind of growth seen from the e-commerce space. Could you put a number to that as to what exactly will be the growth there? Number two is, what is the kind of incremental demand you are seeing from the new education policy? And what is the kind of trend you're seeing in the writing and printing part of the demand trend?
So, right. So, as far as the demand in the growth is concerned, I will divide this into the different segment as you asked about this. So, as with the writing and printing paper is concerned, I would say that in view of the whole digitalization and the digital classrooms and the digital boards, and also particularly the habits, the children habit, and also the parents, I mean, they are also not insisting too much on the writing and reading. So what we are expecting that writing and printing paper is likely to grow at something around 3%. It's not going to be the growth, the same what it used to be 6% or 7%. We are expecting that it will be in the band of 3 to 4% or 2.5% to 3%. But please understand that globally, the writing and printing paper is degrowing. And that too, the degrowth is predominantly when you talk about the Western world, they are degrowing at something around more than 5%. So even if we get a growth of something around 3%, I would say that this will be a decent growth.
Okay.
But when we talk about the packaging related paper, whether it is board or whether it is craft paper or any other packaging related paper, this is likely to grow at something around minimum 7 to 9%. So overall, when we see the paper industry, we expect that it should grow at something around 6%.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Mehta. Some good news coming in for the paper industry after a while. We hope to see much better results from Q2 onwards. Thank you so much for your time, and wish you all the best from Q2 onwards. Thank you once again. Well, that was the management of JK Paper. Remember, the imposition of the MIP is something that aided a significant stock up move yesterday. And today, we did see the management talk about how exactly this will aid price realizations as well as capacity utilization. But with that, it's all the time we have on this edition of Midcap Radar Mutual Fund Corner when we return.